How long has it taken you to this point? How long have you been at it?
Well, we started conceptualizing in December. So, but we started working on it, like actually working on it in January. So that's what, 3 months now? So it's 3 months in the making, everything, the colors, the theme, the script, and the team is so big. So just finding all these different talent pockets to tap into. It's taken a long time, and I hope it shows on the day. Like when you come to watch, you'll be like, wow, these guys took time to make that. Like he's not just up there guessing. Even the stories I was telling you about boy meets music, all that is scripted, right? We are following a specific order to make sure the presentation is precise. I don't want to just rely on, I'll just go and talk to guys and see the vibe. I don't want to do that. I want to give guys value for their money. So we've been working at it since January, coming up with the right things, removing this, adding this, what's the song list, what's the song structure, what do guys want. So it's been a big, big journey back and forth with many of our trusted people in a circle, a lot of research into what people want to hear, what sounds good when you're at a concert, things like that. So like I said in the promo video, we're thinking of everything.
All right, I'm going to open it up for some questions. Here's a question for Nyashinski. We'll start with the person at the back there. We'll take 2 questions. We'll take you, and we'll take you. Okay, we'll take 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to ask Joy. Let's give Joy a round of applause. Joy is the executive producer of the show. She's going to give Joy some love. I know she's hiding somewhere. But Joy, come on. Where's Joy? She's coming. Joy, please have a seat. So as we take your questions, we'll start with you.
Hey, Shane, what up?
What's up?
Easy, my guy. Congratulations on putting this together.
Thank you.
This has been an amazing experience so far. And I'm super excited for Shane City.
Awesome.
My question would be, can you talk about the economics? Thinking about producing your own gig as an artist, is this the most viable option for artists as far as revenue for touring, which globally is the #1 income source for artists? And we've seen people getting, chump change for shows. Is this the way to move forward, producing your own shows? And in this journey, what kind of support have you received from, industry as far as partners, sponsors, and how viable is it for artists to produce their own show and make a good bag?
Okay, question number 1 is about the economics of this. We'll take 2. We'll take more than 1 question. We'll take Oluton and the gentleman behind him as well. We'll take 3 questions and we'll come. We'll take another set. We'll do them in batches.
Wagonyash, Oluton Homebrews Radio, yeah? Should we expect any surprises? I mean, some of the songs that you've done today have a few individuals that you've featured on the song, and then that's my first question. And my second question is, what's the thought process behind bringing back the whole klepto vibe into this particular set? Because is the brotherhood coming back? Should we expect the short guy and the shorter guy to show up at one point?
All right, question number 2 about the performers, and then the third gentleman behind that one. Yep.
Wagwan. 2 parts. Number 1, is Shin City going to be in other cities and towns? Are you going on tour for this one specifically? And then number 2 is, what's the future of Shin City as far as new? You talked about it being a production experience. As far as the metaverse is concerned, what visions do you have around Shin City?
Okay. Great. Good questions. So we'll start with the economics of something like this. And then maybe Joy can talk a little bit about the support you've gotten to make it a reality.
Economics of the show, okay. That's a very broad subject, right? But I think a good way to look at it is scale. Depending on, at which point you're at in your career, you don't have to do a big shit city, you can do the size, or, you can do whatever size you feel you can handle in terms of numbers, in terms of security, in terms of, at the end of the day, it's the experience, right? It's what you're giving people. If you want people to come, 500 people come, what will they see, right? So if you scale it to the level, if you feel you can do a stadium, do a stadium. If you feel you can do a club, do a club. But economically, it does make more sense to do it yourself. Not really yourself, like with your own team, to produce it yourself. Because you face the truth. You see, okay, when I call a show, I have 100 guys. That's where I am. I need to work like this, like this. That way, even when you're quoting, okay, to a show, you're not just quoting. Here we used to just quoting out of thin air. Pay me 500,000 because meaning normal. You can't really tell how many people in that gig came to see you, how many came to see Sauti Soul, how many came to see the other person. You're just quoting because you're quoting, right? That's just your rate card. So when you do this, you get a chance to actually see, like, okay, how many people can come to see me? What can I attract? And that gives you a true gauge of your value, right? That informs your rate card. That informs how you charge, number one. Number two is with this model of building your own show, right? Of course, there's risk in every business. But ideally, it's the model that people all over the world use, right? Even from when you start to when you're really big, you're going on world tours, it's your own show, right? That does two things for you. Number one, you invest in yourself, in your music, literally invest. Because even when you're called to do a show, someone else has invested in that show, right? And they have to get their money back. And number two, you have a chance to present yourself the way you feel your brand needs to be presented. There's a difference which touches on his question of surprises, right? If, for example, I say, okay, I know many people are asking, will you have curtain raisers, which is maybe a question that was coming. And my answer to that is, I feel like if I have curtain raisers and they've not put in the 60 days of rehearsal, then I'm doing a disservice to them, right? I'm just calling you, giving you 50 G's, sing and go home, right? And that's the model even I've grown up in. Like, just come and perform and go home. And I feel like with something like this, there's a chance to break the ceiling and change the mindset of how we see this business, right? If I am to call someone to come and perform at my show, I want to rehearse with them. I want to know exactly where they'll stand, how the light will hit them, then they'll move to this side. A good example I always use is something like the Grammys or Oscars or something, right? If you're called to go perform for these things, you're not called and then you're just told, hey, what's your rate card? May charge 1 million. Okay, here's 1 million, come and perform at the Grammys. No, you have to go rehearse, fit within the program of the Grammys, right? So you can produce your own Grammys, right? With this kind of model. That's one of the things that's very important to me. I want people to understand that Shin City is not an ego thing or a cash grab or anything like that. It's a chance. Even there are songs that I've not released that I'm talking about Shin City that I say, kana zaifanya, unaweza ifanya, right? It's not about me, it's about all of us. Number two. The last thing about the economics thing is when you build a production, a play, comedy special, a movie, Faki, that is an asset. Okay? That is an asset that you can now trade for money. But if you just sit and wait to be called for a show, you're like a hired gun, you know? So we are used to being hired guns. And I have to tell you like it is, because that model of business has a lifespan. This is what happens. This is the truth. Let me tell you the truth. This is what happens. You get a hit, okay? You shoot a video. Unaitwa show. You perform that show, you're paid. The money you're paid, you shoot a video. Ndo uitwe show. Ndo ulipwe, ndo shoot video. Hivyo. So inakwanga rat race, you're on a hamster wheel. Forever. You're forever shooting videos, performing, shooting, performing. Eventually, people get tired. And you're left where you started. You've shot videos, you're a legend, and you can't be unfamous. Once you're famous, you're famous. We know you, right? We know you. And that's the sad truth. I feel like this is an opportunity for us to explore a different avenue, a different way. And it's an asset like this. I don't have to be the only one building it. You know, I'm not the only artist in the country. We can have many different assets like that. Like, for example, in the States, there's so many festivals, or in Europe, so many, right? Most of them produced. So I hope that answers your question. It's an asset in itself. What was the second one, Karu?
Just maybe before you skip, talk about then the people that come to work with you to make that a reality. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think the most important thing is it's impossible to do something like this by yourself. You just can't. Even when you see, I don't know, Jay-Z going on, you guys are in the industry. When you see Jay-Z going on tour, it's probably Live Nation. And that's what Live Nation does. Like the whole day, even when you see the Super Bowl show, there are guys who they just work for Super Bowl. The whole year they're just doing Super Bowl, right? And what that does is, if you go for a show like that, and you go for a show that's not produced, you will see the difference. You will see the comfort level of the performer on this side, on this side. You see the different cues. You know, if you're looking for cues, you'll see how sharp the cues are, etc. Yeah. Right?
Maybe Joy can speak a little bit about some of the partners that have come.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start this way. The first time we thought of this concept, a lot of people thought we were mad. We were insane. And let me say this, that Nyash was also tired of that hamster wheel. It's the same thing. We go for a show, we need to produce a video, we need to do this and this. So as a result, we went with a very draft concept, and I just want to thank the people who believed in our quote-unquote madness, which is our dream. And I know from EABL, and that is Johnny Walker and Tasker. Thank you so much. And that's because we went to them with ideas, with a vision. We didn't know what the end of this looks like. So this city we are building, it's also our first time to be there. So you have to believe us at this point. We are working really hard to make sure we all have a blast at this city. It's not been done before. So thank you to Safaricom as well. These are partners we have worked with for a long time. But they've believed in, like we said, a dream that we had, a vision that we had. And as Shinsky keeps on saying, the magic is in the execution and not the
idea.
And not in the idea. And then we have Boomplay, just our songs. We just keep playing songs, we produce a song, sometimes we don't produce songs. People call and ask us, the media asking us, what happened to Shin? Did he travel? Is he there? But at the same time, they kept on playing the songs. So those are the people who believed in us. And last but not least was a brand new ticketing company, but that has done so much for us, has supported us through and through in creating this experience. So thank you to Tokea, who have really just believed in us. Like we said, it's a new idea and it's the first time in the city. You know, we've not been there, but we are carrying you guys along. We want you guys to come with us. We have a large team as well. If I was to ask the team that has been part of Shin City to raise their hands, it's half the audience. You know, you have been a part of us and we are grateful. So thank you. I think we have a team currently of over 60 people. And we're grateful. So that's the team coming up.
The last question is around, are you going to take this on tour? I don't know which of you two will take it.
Well, that's the hope. That's the goal. That's the plan. The plan is to, like I said, build an asset that can bring joy to people, not only just this once, over and over again. And if we can come up with the formula that works, it's just executing it, re-executing and re-executing. We hope to take it as is. Everything that you will see on that day, we hope to take with us to the other cities that we go to. It's still in the works. It's hard to, when it's like she said, when it's something new to everyone, it's hard for people to understand that, what are you talking about, a city, what? I don't get it. But that is definitely the plan. And about the surprises, there'll definitely be surprises. If I said there'll be surprises, are they still surprises?
And don't tell us who the surprises are.
Okay.
Just say they're surprises.
The surprises.
There's
lots of surprises.
The hope is that the surprises are short. So that was it. Joel asked about making this city exist not on sort of a physical plane, but being on the metaverse. Is there opportunity for that? That this dream, and maybe Joy could talk about that. Will this dream live in the he used the word metaverse, didn't he? Is it going to live in the metaverse?
Big word, Lotan. So
it was actually Joel.
Don't you
Lotan doesn't know how to spell that word.
Oh, okay. That's not in English. Sorry, Joel, I took that away from you. Is it going to exist there? At this point, we are walking. At this point, we are walking the journey. We're trying new things. Would love to be there. Would definitely look for opportunities for where else we can be. Would love to talk to people outside this room. We want to talk to the globe. So whatever opportunities that we do find to get there, we're happy to jump on them. Of course, with just nice strategic moves that also not just push Nyashinski as an artist, but what we're doing is opening up a new path for other people to be. So this is a walk of faith. Wherever we go, I think that's where we will be. Yeah.
And I guess also she's saying if you have some ideas of how we can exist in a different plane, please speak with her. Okay, I'm going to take 3 more. There's somebody back there. Is that the last one? Okay, we'll take you. The mic's coming to you. Anybody else after him who has a question? There's another one right there, 2. We'll take those 2 unless there's another, then the 3rd one. So there are 3 in a line there, Baraka. You see that? Yeah. Just raise your hand so he sees you. 1, 2, and then 3.
Hi.
Hi.
We're looking at around 3 to 4 hour performance, one single man performance, or there will be surprise acts on stage, say curtain raisers. Because at this point, hopefully we have no Niger curtain raising, but if there's one, we won't mind.
Was that question answered already? So tell him that question was answered already. Someone can give him the answer, but okay, next person.
Hi, my question is more about the industry. So do you feel any pressure at all to build the field, so to speak? So lots of young artists always looking up to...
Maybe stand up. She wants to see you stand up. Yeah, that'd be great.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so my question is, do you feel at all any pressure to sort of build the field, build the industry, because of the position that you're in? And if so, what's the response beyond Shin City to be able to help younger artists who look up to you and look up to your artistry to be able to do what you're doing now?
That's a good one. And then last one is down here. Over, just down that way. Please stand so he can see you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm down here. I represent a whole different side of life, which is electronic music in this country. I'm sure you're aware it exists, right? Do we expect anything from that side, Wasewa Boons? Like a Nyashinski version, like I don't know, electronic music version of a Nyashinski song. And also with your graphics, they're really dope. Like, are we seeing any NFTs coming out? Thank you.
All right, where do we start with that one? About electronic music, NFTs, some other metaverse kind of thing.
Okay, NFTs, we are working on that. We have assembled a small team that's really looking into that. Sana, I'm not gonna act like I really know too much about NFTs, but we have a lot of dope visual artists in our camp, and the expressions are definitely going to make them money, one way or another. And NFT is definitely one of the main avenues we are looking at. Just again, this business is evolve or die, right? So if you stay stagnant, you're like, no, me, I'll never do NFT. Shauri yako. So it's definitely in the works.
And his other question about electronic music?
Electronic music, yes. The answer is yes.
Right, so look out for that.
There's electronic music coming.
Right. Then there was the other question about, do you feel pressure from the industry and from those behind you to sort of be a role model?
I would not say pressure. I don't think pressure is the right word. I'd say I feel a responsibility. There are many things that coming up, I feel the people who came before us taught us. And there are many things that I feel they did not know, or they did not teach us. That's one thing I want to change. And the one way I've always wanted to do that is to lead by example. I remember the first year when I came back from, wherever I was, and I was not doing clubs, for example, right? And it seemed strange. And then I was not doing interviews, and that seemed strange, and then I was like, I'm not gonna, all these things, I'm not gonna cut and raise, and then that seemed strange. But all these are barriers we are breaking. How many people came for the AG show? Are you guys there? And it was like a victory lap to see, a Kenyan artist closing the show. And that's the truth. I can't sit here and be all superstar and lie to you. That's just the truth. These things are barriers. We have some cultural, how can I say, like we're rigid in some ways to where like an answer like that's how it's always been done is an acceptable answer. So breaking those barriers makes you an outlier. People look at you differently. Initially when they don't understand, they're like, oh, this guy is proud, he's arrogant, he doesn't, But the fact is, someone has to do it. Someone has to do it for people to see it's possible.